Okay, so yeah, so this is what's there. That's the thing you're going to see. So okay, so this is a running trade right now. Okay, let me just explain. Let me just explain something real quick right now about all this. Is why I took a trade. First thing first, this is support. That's like strong support right there. That's like strong support, as you can see right there. That's like strong support. So the market is actually moving all the way up. The reason why you need to spot this on the indicators, everything below, you buy below what? TP or sell above. So you sell above and you buy below. You see? So this is what I'm working with. So these are the same settings. This is a MACD and the RSI, but it's just a different font. So this is the structure. If you zoom in that point, you see it actually hit the buy, the strong buy. Then I changed the direction of the market, so that's like a buy. The first one. So like I said, major spikes like these, when you get spiked from that point, market actually traces back to that point. So my TP would have been on top at that point here, would have hit that point, but you know, don't have to be greedy in the market. So using lot size 5. So yeah, it's like it hit the buy, everything, all the conditions were right for a buy, but the exponential was actually on the other side. So which means it can continue a downtrend movement. So you're not really that safe. So if you are trying to catch a spike exactly at that point, you sell from the above point and you go down in the markets. So you see the crossing of the MACD also and the crossing of the RSI. I mean the moving average, sorry. Yeah. So basically all I'm doing is this. So 3 major spikes, 1, 2, 3 major spikes and retracement, you see? And all the conditions are here. The zigzag moving, the zigzag indicator shows the movement here, and this is moving average one, which shows it has bent going to the other side. Then this is just a 15 minutes chart. Then the 1 minute chart basically shows you this. So my entry was actually here after seeing the spike. Like I was in the market, I saw that, but your TP would have been here, like I said, the previous market movement. That's why you see this. That's why my TP was initially going to be, but for now I just did the video just to show you exactly, because I was just aiming for at least 250 so that I can reach this point, because I did a withdrawal of let me see the history right here. I did a withdrawal, should be, let me see how much was the withdrawal. That's a negative right there. That's a negative 1,100. That's a withdrawal. And let me just show you something real quick here. That's like saver right there. So which means if you see saver, what does it show? What does it tell you? If you see saver, what does it tell you? It's a real account, guys. It's a real account. So we're saying all that, and I'm having some network lag. So yeah. And also the conditions were showing you that it was going to be a downtrend market, because the hour was showing you down. The crossing happened from that point. You see, exactly what's on the phone is the exact same thing which is there. You see, all the conditions were here. You see what happened there? The crossing happened at that point, so which means market was actually going to push back. Probably to reach this point, because the spike was just way too big. So what we're trying to work with is calculating the amount of pips which is going to take. Because here there was a gap spike, and there was a gap spike. And this, let me just tell you, it only happens when the market is an uptrend market. When it's a downtrend, it will mess up your account. So yeah, always make sure the day is an uptrend. Always make sure the day is an uptrend. So today's candlestick is basically an uptrend with a star on it. So it's a very good one. If you took a swing from the bottom there, you see the star, and then you go up, yeah, you will be in big money. You definitely be in big money. Because looking at the market structure, the day has been falling. So it was looking for support, and support was just formed at this point. So which means market is now being pushed up. So expect good movements of crash. Expect good movements of crash going up. So here are my profits for the month. It's not that much, but yeah, I would say for a month, because I haven't been consistent in the market. Like as you can see the structure there, I haven't been, like, I've just been trading for a few days, miss out a few days. It's not every time I'm taking the trades, just a few days. But no single loss on the account. Definitely no single loss on the account. That's a guarantee. No single loss. I haven't done any single loss on this account. Everything is just profit. Everything is just profits. Everything is just profits. No single. It's something fire, Baba. It's something fire. When you say it's something fire, then you mean business. I'm sure you mean business.
Something that will make you $1 million rich by the end of the year.
$1 million rich. And that's the aim. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
You know what I discovered?
What did you discover?
Your little friend, woman Craig. You know all the patterns that you see there.
Yes, all the patterns, yes.
Hi, I was just, wondering, who told boys that is sexy? I don't get it. Am I supposed to be attracted to... Am I supposed to be like, wow, mera jisam tarap raha hai aur mera dil dak dak karke jakar maar raha hai? You look like a housefly. Don't do it.
Yo, if you check my YouTube right now, I'm actually uploading something which is explaining the same thing you're saying about repeating itself. That's the same thing I've been telling people. So right now, as I'm talking to you, trust me, it's happening. Right now, it's happening right now. Looking at the time, it's happening. The same thing, the same pattern has actually happened. You're sending me something on Telegram?
I want to talk to you a little bit.
Oh, you want to talk to me? So we do a Zoom?
Zoom is, you know my problem with the Zoom.
Oh, yes, they do.
You know what's happening? Like, boom is a selling market.
Yes, yes. Boom is a selling market, crash is a buying market.
A buying market. So
yes.
What basically happens is once boom reach the overbought.
Yes.
Once boom reach the overbought, you need to highlight that area.
Yes.
When it reaches over.
Yes, you highlight
That area, then you highlight it also.
So the BC pointer so it's going to close now. Yeah, you highlight that.
Huh?
You highlight that, yes.
Yeah, and then it gives you a support and resistance, right?
Yes.
So what happens is you go inside those support and resistance from the figures. You highlight where the market started to consolidate. You do a stepping stone, like what you call it? You see that area, those two areas you highlighted.
Yes.
You go inside those areas. You try to find the
information I wanted to pass it so that people can actually see what I meant. Like, I was actually showing them where the MA was going to touch and the spike was going to happen from. And it actually did, because I was doing, I'm putting it on my status right now. So, it's a crazy thing, man. It's a crazy thing. Okay, so, yeah. So this is what you have. So, you see, the spike it happened exactly at that point. Exactly at that point. That's why the spike happened from. I was actually drawing that line so that I show you where the spike was going to happen from. And if you see the 1 minute, let me see the 1 minute. Maybe the 1 minute can show. You see? Exactly at that point where market came back to that point and it spiked. Yo, you need to keep these things. You need to keep. Let me send you the link to the group and I'll tell you the files you need to get and I'll send you a link to so
how to
now
set them up.
this is
Just
1
put
minute
them in
time
one
frame
folder,
here.
Then, the way it is, just extract, you put them in one
Yeah,
folder.
this is the
Yeah,
exact same
that's
points
how it
like
is.
we
But
needed.
let me try to
So
explain
all the
what
conditions were
that
here
will
where
make
the
it
crossing
happen.
happened and
Don't
everything
mind the
else.
camera, it looks a
So
little
the
bit
spike
big,
just
but,
happened. It's more like a gap spike right
use
there.
my MTN
Just happened. So
on
let me
WhatsApp so that I can send it to you on WhatsApp. Text me on WhatsApp.
do this. Let me show you the 5. So the 5 was actually spiked to the BC pointer, which was here, which formed here. The first spike happened at this point, so which means if you took a trade, a breakout was likely to happen. So that breakout happened, which shows here the breakout of the resistance, which was here. It was a weak resistance, so a breakout happened. It hit here, but a breakout happened with this trend. So this trend, when it happened, it took a trade there, then you see market spiked to that same point. This is where, let me show it to you. So if you took your entry here, you see where the spike has actually come back. It's come back to that exact point. So my trade was somewhere here. It went all the way up, took my trade, it took my TP, then you see spiked to this point. So which means if you're in the market, this now is going to be invalid. Very soon this is going to be invalid. So the valid points were this, and that. So here I'm sure a retracement which is going to happen, market will move, it will just hit this point. I'm not taking a trade right now because I told myself when I'm doing this, I don't have to take my trades. And the other thing is this hasn't really done the full conditions, but you see the color has actually changed here. It's still in the red. So here the market is actually trying to find its way. It's more like trying to find its way where it's going to go, but there's resistance here. This resistance, it only determine if it's going to be broken on higher time frames. So if you look at that point, you see that. But here it shows almost all the major time frames showing a downtrend, as you can see. Like for the 4 hours and the 1 day showing a downtrend. But it's still an uptrend in the day. So as you can see, the bars here, are red. Then the bars here are green. So it's showing you exactly what's happening in the market. Anyways, yeah, this is how it is.
You know, if someone broke your heart, you know, before you start crying, before you start getting depressed, there's one question you need to ask yourself. Do you have racks? Do you have the money? Can you afford to waste time crying for another person's child? Ask yourself, do you have tongue? Do you have shackles? How much is in your bank account before you waste time crying for another person's child? Think. You need to.
All the time you're the one complaining. No, that girl, she likes to meet up with my boyfriend. They kiss. Is he your child too? Grab. Use your head. He's not your child. Okay, yes, we know he's your boyfriend. I know when I'm going to meet up with him, I know that he's Chite's boyfriend. I know. Even if you've been in a relationship for 5 years, 15 years, as long as he comes to me, the problem is you're a crybaby.
So this is what I was trying to explain. This has just done 2 spikes, but the spikes are not shown there. So like I said, I was trying to explain the gaps, the valid points. Like here, once this spikes, the only time you take a TP is this point where it's going to be safe, because that's where this double exponential moving average is going to touch that point and spike down. So it's aiming for this. Sometimes it can change a little bit up to after covering this point. This is the last valid point. I'm telling you, last valid point. Once it spikes down, coming back to this point is not going to be valid. So these were the valid points. The time market was moving. The first entry was there. So it's more like if you got spiked at that point. So all these, you'd have been back in profits, because you know crash 500 is a buying is a buying asset. Then for boom is a selling. So the other thing which happened here, I was looking at the BCE pointer, this one. So market always spike reaching this point. So a trend, once you see this trend is one which pushed price going all the way up to this trend, covering up this trend, you see. So we use this and that to show us exactly what's going to happen. So once market changes color of these bars, then it will cross to the other side. So which means these, you trade them at your own risk. Whether you trade them at your own risk, because the spike is going to actually close at this point. You see, it's more like this area is where you trade, then a spike is going to be covering up all these, the green bars. Same thing which happened here. You see, it's even past that point. We see where the BC point was. It was here, then this spike covered up that point and started pushing price all the way up. So this one has started off blue, then it's in the gold zone right now. So this gold zone, if it's a 5 minutes time frame, if it shows you to buy in the 5 minutes, then it's going to buy. But right now it's saying to sell. And you see, a spike just happened once it just touched that point. You see what I was telling you? See, if I use the crosshair right now, let me show you. If I use the crosshair right now, let me show you exactly that the price came back to that point. Let me use the crosshair. You see, the exact same point. You see, that's where it spiked from. So it spiked coming down to a point. So you see, this is telling you to sell, and it's selling. You see, it's in the area for the sale. So that has happened. You can wait until the market reaches a point where at least there will be major support, then it will start now moving all the way up to this point, to cover up this point. Sometimes it will go all the way up because there's major support. Major resistance. Which is going to push price down. So for me, my aim was just to reach 500 for the day today. Then close, because after that withdraw. I needed to put back my money. You know what it is. You withdraw, then you put it back. So same thing. The conditions which are here. This is white and it's pushing price down, and the other thing is pushing price down. And here the conditions are not yet set. So you see, these are still red, still pushing price a little bit down. Then once they are blue, you're good to go. I have the video for all these, this first. I'll send it to you when I'm done. I'm working on it right now. When it's done, I'll send it to you. Then I'll send you the first video for the configuration and everything else, so that you get started as well, so that you understand. First thing, you need to observe and see, but the videos are going to help you out to observe and see what happens in the market, and you can take advantage of that. Here would have been, if you're scalping, at least these candles with a star are safe. The candles with a star are safe. Like here, this was a safe entry. So after some time, that's when you know what happens. So you need this as well to have eyes to see. Then you also need this support to see what's going to happen. So you've seen there's weak resistance there. So yeah, basically this is what you're going to get, and this is what you're going to have. So the BC point has changed to this point. This is interesting because this, I was explaining this, which when once it just touches the candles on the head to push price down, same thing happened there. Then when it crosses to the upside, then it goes all the way up. I'm sure you can see there's the gold one and the red one. I'll explain everything. Everything has been explained. So here it came from that point going all the way up to that point. So here it has changed the color, trying to form that good thing. But if you look at bigger time frames like the 4H, it shows the downtrend at that point. So you need to worry. And 4 hours is showing a downtrend, and also 30 minutes showing a downtrend. So which means this, you only scalp, you don't go in the market. So at this point, if it was me, I would have made $100 and I'm out. At this point, I've made $100 and I'm out. So see, but once it just touches this, just know it's going to spike down. Once the candles are just close to the MAs, like what happened there. Once they're just close to the MAs, it's not safe. It's not safe. Anyways, you're going to understand all this if I run the video and show it to you in a good way. So I explained to you the valid points. This was the last valid point for it. After the spike, which is going to happen after this, and this is going to be invalid. The valid point is going to be this one. Then this one is going to shift. This one is going to be the valid point later on. So you see, this happens with time. So if you took an entry there, that's a week, and you see the star on the 5 minutes. So that star in the 5 minutes, I'm recording this session. So 5 minutes there, it's the one which pushes the other block to go up. So that support has formed there, the weak support, which can actually break at a later point, because the crossing has happened here, the crossing has happened there, then it's trying to push price all the way up. So if you're scalping at this point, well, you get something off of the market, because this is $250, this is another $250. So it's another $250 initially covering a 500 for the day you're done. Oh, in fact, one thing I wanted to tell you about this is if you're trading a $25 account, if you're using lot size, I wouldn't say on a $25 account using lot size 1. No, it's not recommended. But you can use lot size 0.50. 0.50 is the one which is going to do the most. At least you understand how everything is going to work out. So yeah, that's the maximum load, because if a spike was to catch up to you like this one, this is going to draw you back to at least this is more like 5. So this is like a 15 minutes spike. Yeah, this is a 15-minute spike. This one, it's the same spike which happened at that point. Oh no, sorry, this one. This is a spike which happened, but they are equal lengths. This spike and this one, they're just one and the same. That's why it has spiked and it's now trying to make that retracement back to that point. You see, same thing. See, almost the same thing. So yeah, so if you got spiked here and holding, this would have covered up everything. And the reason why this is happening, why it spikes but it still goes up, is because the bars are green here. See, so the bars are green. That's the thing. And see, the MACD signal was down and it's trying to push price up. See, because there, and it causes these are blue and you're safe. Everything, all the conditions are here, and the conditions are here, and still a downtrend, but 15 is still trying to push price up. This trying to push up price up, but 4 hours it's down, and this, you know what it is, because this has actually hit the resistance, so it's trying to push price down. This resistance here, it's trying by all means to push it down, but here there are two untested resistance. So when test this point down to the kaya hapa ya rabiri manje match hapa manje sakira pesa itinga no enda pansi.